it makes it a little bit more speedy. He can't immediately defend himself.
He cannot.
It's always better to find someone who can't defend themselves. Misfits, they are going to be, on the offensive. And Luminosity, I think they're going to be perfectly capable of defending themselves. They're looking good, and they have Mana-10 here on the Mei already. I love it. We're actually going to see Mei versus Mei. This could be very exciting. And they are playing a little bit forward here. They're not all the way back, but already coming into the high ground. Misfits gonna go for the charge and a great ice wall. Look at how it zones out the Misfits team here. Riv gonna be picking up Mana-10 though, so already off to a pretty good start there.
Yeah, Nevix as well, right? He had a good start with that wall. They just, at this point, it's about presence. It's about pushing them back, and that's exactly what they managed to accomplish here. You know, you basically didn't have much in the way of exchanges there, but here comes the nano boost. Ruster's just gonna move in, swinging like a crazy person, but Crew is there for the stop right away, and this is 100% going to be a cap for Misfits because they have no tank presence here. This is actually a very good start for this squad.
Very, very interesting, and you're exactly right. They're gonna cap, and now we're in payload mode, so control point for the first one, but then turns into a payload map in case you're new and you don't know what's happening here. Now, I actually think the ice wall that went up for Mana-10 on the Luminosity side was so good. The only problem was the one person he caught on sort of the wrong side, as it were, of the wall was the Reinhardt with the shield up. So they couldn't really kill the Reinhardt. If it had been anyone else on the other side of that wall, then probably they would have started off with a great start at Luminosity. But they sort of caught the wrong person, and that was a bit unfortunate. Now, Soon is up here, a couple of shots, and he'll have the ultimate. Is he gonna go for it? There's the Graviton Surge coming out soon. Not building the ult just yet. Now we'll see Misfits if they can make any kind of progress. Well, they certainly are. It's a great Earth Shatter coming out. And they're just going to continue here. Luminosity getting destroyed at the street stage here.
There was just so much to break down. You had that Blizzard drop, which essentially zoned out anyone from Luminosity, and then Zebasai kept everyone alive with that sound barrier. So it was at that point that when, the Graviton went out, they just knew they weren't going to be able to get the follow-up that they wanted. But now look at Soon. This is what I love to see here from Reaper players. He's waiting for that perfect opportunity to drop behind enemy lines. They do manage to section off. He's going to fly in with the Death Blossom, does get hit with the bubble, is able to pick up 2, looking for the follow-up, able to find 3, and there is Crew with the 4th as well, and this is yet another well-fought battle for Misfits. They're going to get this checkpoint, and they're going to keep moving on to the final phase. They're doing this one in style.
This is perfect, and honestly though, I've got to say, Soon, that particular play in that exact spot where you use the Shadow Step to get that far forward once you've won the street fight, we've seen that time and again throughout this tournament. I really want teams to stop falling for that same Reaper trick. Now it's become so predictable, someone's got to change it, but we do see the Nano Boost coming out, Icefeld picking up 1, but what a great counter. Soon picking up Mana-10, and it's just getting much worse here. Icefeld, he's getting more kills, but he's also being locked down a little bit, and Soon is doing so much work. He's getting re-shielded and teamed up with Nevix. Look at this. It's not a fair fight, Reaper versus Reaper, and just Soon doing way too much work.
Soon is on fire here, man. Both figuratively and literally, because he's actually on fire in the game itself. That's just when you're performing so well that the game is basically saying you are untouchable. But here we go. This could be a final battle here, but a good Graviton Surge for Saini, but it won't matter because Soon is going to dive in there and find himself a triple. Crew follows it up again, and Misfits absolutely dominate Luminosity, Anders.
I mean,
whoa!
We ended up talking a lot about Soon because it seemed like he just sort of carried the way from street all the way to the end. That was an incredibly impressive time to be setting here on King's Row. But honestly, it seemed like whenever a fight broke out, Misfits just had 2 good ults ready to go, and the same wasn't really true for Luminosity. It's not that they were necessarily staggered in their spawns, but they were staggered in their ult department. They keep having not the right amount of ults up at any given time, and it became real weird. So just at the end, you see Icefeld going in with sort of Nano Boost Reaver, but they don't have anything to sort of follow it up, right? They don't have a Graviton Surge to put on top to make sure that it works out or anything else like that. So it's just a bit a little bit too strange, I think.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for in that particular situation that you mentioned before with Icefeld, really diving in with this Nano Boost, realizing that in situations like that, you need to make it as easy as possible to get the clear. And if Icefeld has to go chasing for kills, that's just going to make it that much more difficult for him to do his job. On the other side, though, the shout-out that I have to give will be to Crew and Zebasai. I loved the plays that Zebasai made on support, really keeping his team alive, speeding them up when necessary, But then you also had Crew, who, as a Zarya, just dominated. I was, again, fully charged, pushing up, providing shield when necessary, allowing Soon to be able to make those plays. It is a team effort, and Misfits displayed that in just in incredible fashion.
It's going to be really hard, I think, for Luminosity to keep up with this kind of pace, especially this first point. We'll see if they're going to get locked down or not. No surprises for Misfits in the defense right now. Luminosity, Icefeld does have a hand, so it could really easily be swapped out once the gate opens. You might just want that Sonic Arrow. Although, a lot of the times when you do that, you kind of want the Roadhog behind it, just so you can set up for a good hook. He's going to swap into the Reaper right away, so they just wanted the Sonic Arrow to get a little bit of information. But it's it's almost a trick that costs you nearly nothing, right?
Look here. You're going to have a... now, there goes that speed boost. So now everyone's going to start to charge in. Mineral's going to do his best. But now Soon popping up from the shadows. They're like Batman. And I love what I'm seeing here. But finally, he's going to get pushed back. And, Luminosity realizing this could have gone bad real quick. And they are able to bounce into this one, forcing the activity on the left side, though. And they are trying their absolute best to potentially get inside of the building to the far left, but just not going to happen there. Misfits, they're just reading everything that Luminosity has given them.
Yeah, doing a really good job. Now they're actually going to be trading Reinhardt's here, so a little bit of confusion. Not going to work out too well for Ruster. He goes down, Mineral to fall, and obviously Luminosity going to be falling back and just waiting as far as they can. That ice wall making it difficult. It's very interesting. You can see that Misfits are hoping to allow them to sort of enter their side of the map here, and then if they can just win half a fight when Luminosity are falling back, they're using the ice wall to stop to prevent that fallback. There's the nano boost. Now they're going to prevent it with the ice wall. Just a great made play coming out from Nevix right now. He's going to put down the Blizzard on top of absolutely everybody. That Earth Shatter coming up, but they're frozen on top of the Manitem coming out, but they're just taking so much damage right now. Soon and Rib going to be cleaning up, and Luminosity falling once again.
Man, Manitin had the right idea with the wall, but everyone, he walled it in such a way that popped everyone up and actually got them over the wall. He ended up getting Crew over the wall as well, and that allowed Crew to just do exactly what he needs to do, provide the bubbles, give his teammates those support opportunities with the shields, and that right there was a good attempt, just couldn't close it.
Look at the ultimates again from Misfits. They're so much better. Crew still has his ultimate. Rib has his Earth Shatter here. Luminosity are walking right into another losing fight, and they don't have that much time left either. This is just not going to be working out, and they win this fight without using any of the two ults that I just mentioned, so this is working out incredibly well. I think now Luminosity really, they've got to think about Saini and Icefeld combining to win this next point. They've got, another 3 fights left if they're quick about it, but not much more than that.
Yeah, it's very tough. And in that fight in particular, you talk about how Misfits are just able to separate Luminosity. They did it again there, but now the Graviton Surge is going to come down, and you also hear that Death Blossom as well coming from Icefeld. Soon looking to get in the action, though, along working with Zebasai, and this is just not a good position here for any of Luminosity to be in, and they have just been stopped at the gate yet again, Anders. They can't quite figure out how to break the incredible hold that Misfits have put together.
Great shielding coming up from Crew once that Death Blossom and Graviton Surge combo. They did come out from Luminosity. They just used it to really nearly no effect. And also Rib. You saw him put the shield right in Icefeld's face. And now I'm wondering if there's like a panic switch. They picked up the Tracer here for Icefeld. They know this is not working. They get the Genji out as well on Saini. They just want something to work. It's going to be a great dash to come through. But then the sound barrier out defensively from Misfits. Just trying to buy some more time. Can he get the Dragon Blade right now? It doesn't look like it. Hidan and Nevix going to be picking up some good kills here. This is not good for Luminosity. They are getting shot out of this first point. Alex, what can they do at this point?
Honestly, they have one play left, and it's going to rely on Ruster trying to work with Manitin here to be able to provide that opportunity to push up, get the Earth Shatter down, but even then, there's still no burst follow-up. You have Icefeld with the Pulse Bomb. That's potentially what you could use here, but look at the ults that are just stacked for Misfits. Everything will go in their favor. Graviton Surge goes down, and there's just going to be activity in the point there because Icefeld manages to get behind. Crew finds 2, and this is just another Misfits hold. Here comes the Dragon Blade. Maybe it can find a couple kills, but it won't matter because Rib just stops him in his tracks. Hammer time, he says. And that is going to be Misfits with a full hold. Impressive.
Well, that is very, very decisive. I do want to dish out a little bit of criticism to Luminosity here. Now, I mean, Misfits played very well, but there's one thing that sort of that was a little bit odd to me. You see the attack path became the same every time, and actually, this first point on King's Row, like, there is architecture around the point that allows you to try and go for flanks. If you take the right hand in and sort of go up the stairwell, you can flank around, you can even make it jump across into the apartments. You can try and divert their attention so that they're not all the time just looking all in one direction. Yeah. It seemed like Luminosity were content to just try and take head-on 6 versus 6 fights, and Misfits just said every time, well, we're just better at that than you are, so it didn't really work out that way. Before we get into the second map, do want to remind you guys to go and check out the Bleacher Report. Download the team stream, the free app from Bleacher Report, and follow the eSports stream for all the latest E-League and eSports news. You do it on Android and iOS. Still go check it out, without a doubt. Cool application.
You can see our man Malik on there too, on eStream. You want to get more Malik Forte in your life? That's where he'll be.
I've never worked with Malik before. It's the first time I ever met him at the show. He's doing such an incredible job.
Oh yeah, I mean he's awesome. I've known Malik for years. You know, dating back to like when we used to just.
I feel like I've been missing out.
Yeah, well, you know what, man? We just gotta hang out more often. You know. It's gotta, you, me, Semler, everyone else can just, you know, they can forget themselves. But, you know, Rachel's cool. You know, Malik will show up because Malik's invited to everything. So that makes sense. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, like Huck and X and CP, like, you know, whatevs.
We'll bring them if there's space. No,
if there's space.
I will definitely do that. I'm spending so much time in the States anyway, you know, we'll make a thing of it.
That's right. There you go. I'm so excited now. Now I don't even want to talk about the game. Now I just want to talk about the activities that we're going to have venturing the United States together. It's going to be so fun. But, you know, diving back into this one, though, we just found out from production, Vods going to be the next one. Now, you know how to actually pronounce this thing.
Eichenwald?
Is it Eichenwald?
I think that's how the Germans would do it, yeah.
I don't even speak Spanish, so there's no way I'm going to get that one right.
Well, I'm sure we'll get something that's more close to home, just maybe a little bit. Eichenwald, Germany's right next to Denmark, and it's the same basic language. Yeah. You know, Danish just a sort of weird twist.
I want like a map in the Bronx. That's what I want. You know, like make the Bronx
all
great
the different
again.
Dialects and everything.
Yeah, everything. You know, that's what I want. But guys, we've seen this map. We actually saw in the last series, and we saw what FaZe can do on this one. This is going to be LG's pick as well, Anders. Remember, loser picks the next map. So LG feels like they could go ahead and toss this curveball in there. Eichenwald.
I'm interested. I want to see if it turns into another sort of, you know, straight on 6v6 fight. If Misfits continue to come out on top, if they're just proving right now we're just better at those type of fights, then I hope Luminosity have it in them to slow down a little bit. I mean, what we've seen already in this tournament is Overwatch is not a game where you have a lot of time to really think about anything, so they have to be sort of quick on-the-fly calls. Someone has to be able to read, you know, okay, we're losing, that's one thing, but why? You know, what haven't we tried yet? And Luminosity certainly didn't figure that out on King's Row. See if they could figure it here on a map 2. A lot on the line here. We're not in best of 5 territory yet today. Still just a best of 3. So it's now or never.
That's right. And, you know, this hybrid map, you know, players have to go capture the objective, which is a capture point in a particular area. And then once that happens, they can progress that payload forward. So this is certainly something that Luminosity thinks is going to be right up their alley. Feels like they're going to be able to come out on top here. And taking a look at, you know, the comps for these two teams, and Nevix actually just getting a lot on Ruster there. But luckily for him, he was able to back away and get some adequate heals from Zave and Mineral. And here comes the push. Nevix, he's looking to get a lot of picks, but they are going to lose soon early here. And this is looking like to be a solid hold for LG. Ribdo's going to get right in their face, and he has a lot of shield left. And relying on Nevix to just be able to pick off the tank because Ruster is causing some problems here, Anders.
Save. He's actually got this nano boost up and running. That could be really big if they want to try and defend this. He's got it way earlier than everybody else right now. Nevix taking a fight close range, but that shield doing so much. Can he get the boost out? Save, staving it even right in the face of Nevix. That's so scary. Imagine if he goes down. The team's still fighting all around. There's finally Graviton Surge coming out, and Luminosity, he's finally going to be using its save. Is he going to be able to save them? Earth Shatter coming out as well, swinging that hammer, and Rush, they're doing a really good work at the moment, just trying to see if they can shut them down and defend this first point. Misfits continue to fight, but they are not full strength on this point right now. So at some point, they're going to have to draw back and really get everyone up and running again.
Yeah, definitely liking what I'm seeing here from Icefelt as well. Knowing when to use his Wraith mode because he does not have a lot of health. They didn't have the support at the moment, but now they do. And that is a Luminosity hold, but still the action continues because Misfits, they are right on the prowl. And I think it was just a good call from Manitin to just separate them for the time being and let them gather themselves because this next push is coming.
They do have the sound barrier on Mineral to try and help them a little bit. Nevix with a really big ult into the nano boost as well. Has to fall back even just a little bit. He's in nano boost mode with the Wraith form. That's not the best way to be spending your time trying to look for the kills here, but now they're just going to be way too many people in front of him. The Mei coming in. Still, Saini ends up going down here, and Misfits, they just do not give up on this point. Save dropping Ice Wall there to make sure they can't capitalize on the Graviton Surge. That's a good start, but oh, what an Earth Shatter coming through. Stepaside going down, but the bomb from Soon to finish him.
Soon needed to just close that one out. Ruster, man, that was a beautiful Earth Shatter. But you know what? He didn't have anyone there for the follow-up, so even if he was able to pick off 1 or 2 people, I mean, they would have focused him down so fast, as you saw right there, as a matter of fact. So this is going to be a Misfits push, but Luminosity put up a good fight.
You know, the very first engagement, there's so much happening, I didn't really get a chance to comment on it, but there's a really cool point in time where Ruster went for the charge, and then they put up, the Manitin put up the ice wall, so Ruster wouldn't charge too far off the map. He sort of just charged into the wall. That's a good way of making sure your Reinhardt doesn't just, run on forever and maybe lose track of the team. Sebasai going to be going down, and Luminosity deciding to fight right at this choke point. Not a bad idea, but there are a lot of ways to get around this as well for Misfits, so we'll see how that goes for them. Another wall coming up there. Soon is already out as well. You can tell that the Misfits not too happy about this fight.
A fully charged Crew as well, so that's going to be a little concerning. And what I like about Crew is that him and Rib, they're basically just tag teaming this one, which is some wonderful work. But there goes a nano boost that's going to come from Zave onto Ruster, and Ruster just went swinging for the fences. Icefelt though is going to pin Rib, and Rib looking to stay alive, able to get the kill on Icefelt. But finally, there's going to be some follow-up. Nevix is going to get Earth Shattered there, and that is going to be a wasted nano boost. So good job here from Luminosity. They were able to hold this one off. A lot went into that one, but still Misfits, they do have that ult advantage. Look for Crew to initiate with that Graviton Surge, and Soon to hop in there with the Pulse Bomb, aka the Big Bang. Look for that to happen.
And for that reason, it's actually so smart that Luminosity are falling back a little bit here. They are waiting for Icefall and Saini to get their ults up. Once they do, then we're pretty much in an even field here. So they're waiting to try and take the fight. Icefall holding his ult back. Is he gonna get it? Saini has his Graviton Surge. Can they get the combo working? He's right on top there, using it, but Nevix just Wraith form out of it, and Soon has picked up 2 kills in the background. This is looking a little bit better for Misfits this time around. Saini ready and waiting for it. He doesn't want to use it. They still have 2 ultimates here, Luminosity. They do hold on at the end.
And I have to say, that was a great sound barrier from Mineral, because he realized that, in that situation, the Graviton Surge comes out, there's 1 of 2 things that's going to happen. Either you have Nevix ready with a Death Blossom looking to just shred everyone, or you have Soon with that Pulse Bomb. So his intention was to keep his team alive as much as he possibly could here. And there goes Misfits. They're going to be in a world of hurt, and they just pick up kill after kill after kill, and that will be another Luminosity clear. So 1:32 seconds left on this one, Anders. This is looking really good for Luminosity, as their confidence in this pick their confidence in the pick is showing up.
Alex, I'm worried because we usually see teams struggle in the final part of this map, whereas the first 2 points seem to be much more manageable. So if Misfits are having this kind of trouble before they even break through the castle walls, I wonder how it's going to all turn out. You can see them speeding up behind.
Oh my goodness! Nevix! What are you doing, man? That was insane, Anders.
He jumped past the shield. That's the advantage of coming in from that high ground. You could see him just with so much speed. Luminosity were trying to fall back, and they did not make it work. And now they're set up to go for these castle doors. They do have 2 ultimates and a 3rd one coming online for Sebasai. And again, we all know this fight that happens right at the castle doors. That's the most important one. Soon taking down Saini.
Oh man, you know what? Ruster, I don't think he got anything with that Earth Shatter there. One has to wonder, right? That was an unfortunate one, because an Earth Shatter in this situation could have been really clutch. Manitin's going to try and stay alive, but this is going to be a push, and not much coming out of this particular fight. I don't know. I'm kind of bummed out that Ruster used his Earth Shatter there. I'm sure that they were hoping for a little bit more out of it, they just couldn't find it.
It's even worse because Saini doesn't have his Graviton search up. If at least they could have said, well, we lost one of the big crowd control ultimates, then we have one left, and maybe it's going to work out. But you're absolutely right. It is definitely a big misstep. Nevix waiting on the side, and they do have more ults, including Rib's ult, to try and see if they can follow it up. He's waiting in the back line here. They're not too impressed by that one. He's just going to go in. In fact, they've got the sound barrier there just to give them the HP to fight through that Death Blossom. Nevix caught a little bit by the ice wall, and there comes the ult.
Oh my!
Nevix doing it again. Quad kill. 5 kills in now, taking down Manatin as well. That's now twice for Nevix here, saving his team just when it matters.
What? He like it looked so bad. It did not look like it was going to go in their favor. And then Nevix just jumped down and gave them the business. That was insane. Oh man, they're going to progress this payload, and they're just mere meters away from getting themselves 3 points. There goes another Graviton, or excuse me, an Earth Shatter, but yet another Earth Shatter will fly out as well. So both Reinhardt's committing to it. This should be a stop here for Luminosity if they are able to clear out, and they do so, clearing out crew as well as I think it was going to be one more player. I think it was soon, but I'm not quite too sure there. But regardless, wow. I mean, just the progress that they made alone, Misfits. This particular point, Anders, you mentioned before, it's really hard to hold or really hard to attack. If you're Misfits, you're doing a great job, in my opinion.
And they have that big ult from Saini that just came out. Didn't get nearly as much as I thought they would have. I actually think they popped that way too early. They needed to wait just a little bit longer. Now Ruster is close to his, but he's also down. They're doing great work. Misfits, they're fighting this without any ultimates. They only just got Soons up and running. This is very interesting. And he's going to try and go and deny them, and he doesn't want them anywhere near. Going to put the ult in, doesn't get anyone for it. They're so close, but a big Earth Shatter coming out there, trying to see if he can keep them back. It's Nevix again. He's a couple of shots away. One more now. The ult is out. He's going to go for it. Nevix, one more go around. He's getting the double, looking for the triple, and there it is. Icefeld going down. Nevix, the absolute MVP here on Eichenwald. It's impressive, and they're going to go for Manatin as well. He can't live through it. Bush is going to be coming through, and he's going to go to the final point. Misfits. That doesn't happen every day. They were struggling in the beginning, but they just needed Nevix to drop, like 12 kills and 3 team fights?
If you're Nevix right now, you're basically looking at your teammates and you're just like, listen, I understand this is a team game, okay? And I know it was a team effort. We all did a really good job, but you're welcome. You know, because Nevix went huge so many times. I mean, there's been a lot of discussion about Soon, right? Especially from yesterday, because Soon had a really, really good day, especially with some clutch tracer plays. But Nevix, man, this guy just... he went in, and LG, they were holding them off, right? So it's like, how do you like defend those? You know what I mean? Like, because in that situation, especially when he got the clear in castle phase, or in final phase, I should say, where it was just like him, and I think it was like one more person. I want to say it was either like Rib or Hedan, one of those. He went Wraith mode and popped up, and I look at that and I'm like, I don't know if he's going to use his ult here, right? Maybe just wait for the next one. Pops it anyway, picks up 4 kills. I'm like, what is going on? Like, you have to have a lot of confidence in yourself to be able to do that. Yeah,
I think, I mean, apart from just the positioning, I think Nevix is doing a really good job at holding on to the ultimates. But, you're right in saying this is a team thing. He was obviously getting a lot of support for it. And it worked out just fine. Now we do see him on the McCree instead. That is very interesting. Now that they're defending here, Misfits, I think they're in prime position, having pushed it to the end. We've almost never seen that, even from some of the better teams actually having a hard time getting to the end of this map. I think Misfits are in a really good shape to take this 2-0.
Yeah, and one thing I want to point out about the McCree, right? They have a feeling that Luminosity wants to bust out the Pharah, and that's exactly what they have. McCree is great against Pharah, so expect to see Nevix looking for that target. But I also want to comment on Manatin here. Maybe Mr. X is going to get his wish. Maybe he's going to get his 360 no-scopes. Never mind. He's going to go right back over to Zarya. So I understand what they were going for there. They wanted to get like one big hit so that they could tip a fight in their favor, because anyone going down in the initial phase, in that initial fight, it's huge, right? But here we go. Saini's now going to move in here and try and see if he can pull off maybe 1 or 2 picks, and just dives right over. And you gotta love this Pharah play, but look for Nevix to just try and focus this one down as best as possible. But a brilliant play from Icefeld, getting the back lines and causing problems, dropping a support and McCree, who are supposed to handle Saini in this phase.
These damage boosted rockets coming out from Saini, they do so much damage. He's got Save behind him on the Mercy, just boosting that damage, and well, not even gonna let Rib get away. What a fantastic push from Luminosity, and a big switch in the meta here. I mean, again, we haven't been seeing this this Mercy and Pharah combination too much, but very interested to see how it's working out here. They are coming back quick, Misfits, trying to defend, and maybe Nemix could do a better job the second time around. You're right, he is good at picking Pharah or even Mercy out of the sky if need be, but here comes the ult. Oh, it doesn't actually do that much. Yeah,
only able to pick up one, which was Nevix, again, the preferred target, at least for Saini, but because of that, couldn't really stay alive long enough, and Rib holding this one down. You get that pulse bomb on the shield, and it's really only going to absorb damage onto the shield, and now this is Misfits right back into this one, you know, but I think for Luminosity, this still was a very strong start, and they're going to look to just hop right back into the driver's seat and do it again.
Oh, he's up and flying, and with the Graviton Surge on top, Manatin going to be one kick of the kill on Hidan, but they're still doing a great job. Soon and Nevix fighting back.
That was a really, really good read there from Soon. Again, Saini has been causing a lot of problems, and also Saini did not have the buff too, so remember that, right? You know, that the first phase, the reason why Saini was able to do so much because Zave was there with that attack buff and pretty much just strengthening the Pharah. Now Crew's going to drop the Graviton. Mineral's going to be in a bad spot, gives him the Bro Fist, and Crew with the follow-up finds Zave as well, so no healers, and a just nano-boosted Zarya. It just shreds through everyone, and you have to be so concerned about nano-boosted Zarya because not only can she continue to dish out damage, but on top of that, when she pops up that bubble, there's just so much that you can't handle at that moment.
Honestly, that sequence from Crew might go as one of the best Zarya highlights we've seen so far. That was just completely impressive. And not only sort of, you know, juking and dodging and getting a lot, he was almost full charge that whole way through. He managed to put the shields up just in time for everything. That was a beautiful, beautiful sequence there. Now they're going to try for it again. Luminosity, they're under a lot of pressure all of a sudden. They do have Save with the revive, and that might be the big way to try and do it here on the Mercy. Saini, he doesn't care about dying, I think. He's just waiting for Save to come in here and revive all of them, so they're going to go for it. One is down, trying again. Rasta taking a big fight there, and Luminosity, they're actually getting some great kills in, and Save finally using the revive, getting a couple of them up, but already Saini is out again. Misfits, they're coming up big every time.
There goes that nano boost. As soon as I heard that revive and I saw that Hidan had a nano boost, I was just a little concerned because you just, yes, it's great that you were able to pick everyone back up, but without like that kind of, they clearly did not know that he had that available, but there was just nothing that would tip the odds in their favor in that fight. They were able to come out on top yet again. 20 seconds left on the clock. This is their life on the line here, Anders.
Well, they have the wombo combo, and actually Misfits don't have a sound barrier to stop it with. They've already put it out. Icefeld going to be coming in. There's the bomb coming out. Oh, the shield! It absorbs all of it. Icefeld doesn't get what he needed, and this is the last fight for Luminosity. They need to make it work. Saini on the McCree picking up one. Soon going to be dropping as well, and Nevix down. Maybe Luminosity have found a way through.
This is looking really bad here for Luminosity, but they are going to have Ruster just swinging all over the place like a crazy person with the Winston and Primal Rage, and what looked like a bad play, or I should say a bad round here for Luminosity. They now get into the Streets phase. They can have a sigh of relief for the time being, but still though, they were held off at the pretty much last second. This is not looking good for LG going into Streets phase.
It's definitely no. The one thing, not even that. There's about to be 4 ultimates up for Misfits. I was going to say they might have had a bit of an ult advantage. That would only be true if they managed to push straight into a team fight. But this kind of a delay, Soon jumping down.
Oh my God!
They're all coming out soon! Absolutely wrecking them. Gonna go for the shotgun to follow it up. They can't even fight this. That's 5 kills for Soon.
I mean, well, you know, Rib, you took my ace, man. You know, you took my team kill. No, but seriously, you saw that one happening, right? They, at that point, when there's no one meeting you at the front door and you got to push this payload forward, Luminosity, they didn't have much of a choice. So that's just going to be more time off the board for them. There comes Soon again. I mean, this guy is just channeling his inner Batman. Like, it is just awesome the way he's just flying all over the place and just trying to invoke justice onto these people. Nevix with a triple kill, taking out the supports as well as the Zarya. Nevix finding another one on Saini, and can anyone stop these DPS players for Misfits? Oh my goodness, Anders.
I mean, positionally speaking, I don't even know how you get a triple bomb off on Tracer without using the Graviton Surge. That's so much damage. Misfits are just shutting them down right now. Crew picking up a triple kill as well, just for old time's sake, and it's going to be really tough. We got 45 seconds left here for Luminosity. They don't have that many ults. In fact, they're going to have 3 at the most. And Misfits, they've still got Rib with that big Earth Shatter.
Well, they're going to certainly need Mineral to build up on Sound Barrier to keep them alive, but look for Zave to just go over to, I would imagine, Ruster, because they basically just need something. There you have it. Ruster's going to take this Nano Boost, and he's going to go swinging now, but you also do have Rib, who had their Earth Shatter. He used it, doesn't get much for that, and this is a do-or-die fight here for Luminosity. There goes one. That will be soon. Finally gets dropped there by Sani's Genji. Ruster now moving in. He's going to charge up, try and see if he can take out Zebasai. Zebasai does have the Sound Barrier as well, so look for that on the next fight, but still a clutch fight for Luminosity, but the pressure's on.
It absolutely is, and there's 3 big ults right now for Misfits, so this could be really scary. Soon is far away from having his, so they could go for the Nano Boost on Rib maybe and go for the big swings here. If they could shut them down right now, then they wouldn't even have to deal with the final stage. Nevix coming in.
Ooh,
is he going to be able to get it? Yeah, it was huge, hitting almost everybody. Nevix saving the bomb. He's finally going to be putting out with the shield working perfectly for Ruster.
That was a big Earth Shatter that opened up the floodgates for them. Nevix, though, working the back lines. There goes the Graviton Surge from Maniten. Maniten, though, trying to stay alive here. Now it's going to be Zave and Ruster working together. A pretty good combo, if I don't say so myself. And a nano-boosted Reinhardt, for the time being, was going to push them away. Nevix, though, continuing this fight on the point.
He's doing a very good job using the architecture just to make himself very hard to hit. And now Misfits are reinforcing on the point once again. Nobody building any ults right now on the Misfits side. Rasani has his Dragon Blade. It's going to be coming out right on top and just slicing down Hidan, and that's going to make it even tougher. It's doing fair damage right now, and Luminosity, they should be in a good position to push this onto the final stage, I think.
They just need to take out Soon. Soon staying alive that long was very, very good, but that is going to give them more time on the clock. And Luminosity, oh my goodness, they are living to fight even more, but they have 1 minute and 25 seconds left on the clock to work with, and the time is being spent with this with this particular animation pushing the objective forward. It's just not a lot of time to work with here, Anders.
Nevix picking up Winston instead of Mei. In this confined space, I am not a big fan of that Winston pick, but I'm happy to be proven wrong. Obviously, Nevix knowing much more about this than I do. Sani going to be pushing in, actually does end up dashing out, but he goes down, and right now things are working out great for Misfits. And soon going to be falling back, not only winning the fight, but also holding on to that big Death Blossom ultimate there on the Reaper. And I mean, there's almost no time here for Luminosity. They are in, it'd be a miracle if they could make it to the end here, Alex.
Soon is their target. They need to look for Soon because they know that he's going to have that Death Blossom. They wasted, or no, I shouldn't say wasted, but they used the Nano Boost. So now it's time to push in here, and you're going to hear that go down. Soon, does he find anything? It doesn't seem like he gets a kill with it, but he does cause significant damage, so much so that Crew and Rib are able to follow up with kills of their own. Ruster's getting focused down by the cannon there, the lightning gun from the Winston, and that is going to be another clear with 15 seconds left on the clock. This is a last-ditch effort, and they have a Dragon Blade and a Pulse Bomb to work with, and a Sound Barrier. They got to get in there right now.
Absolutely brilliant play, and I mean, what can they do? They're sort of trying to get in here. They have Icefeld. It would have to be one hell of a bomb for them to go out. It goes off on the inside of the shield, and that does nothing for them. Now we're in overtime, and Luminosity going to have to use everything they have, but already Rib on that Genji, on the Reinhardt picking up 2 big kills and gonna continue. 3rd kill coming in from Rib. In fact, he's just tearing them apart with this hammer, and that's gonna be pretty much the end of it. Luminosity, they've got no one there to reinforce, and Misfits gonna take the 2nd map as well. Unbelievable defense being put up, and you know, credit to Nevix. I was worried about that pick, but you saw in that confined space the lightning gun. It's really hard for him not to hit at least 2 players at the same time, and maybe more. So it definitely worked out very, very well. And that's an interesting pick, and we haven't really seen too much. People have sort of preferred to use either the D.Va or the Mei on that final stage, which is obviously why I thought that. But that worked out brilliantly. Misfits 2-0ing Luminosity here.
And if you want to talk about domination, I mean, I think you look in the dictionary, you're going to see all the members of Misfits there, because that is just absolutely disgusting the way that they played that game. Nevix had some huge plays as Reaper on attack, but then soon basically was like, you know, Nevix, I could do the same thing too. And on defense, held it down yet again. But I have to give a huge shout out to Hedan and Rib for coming into this squad, synergizing as well as they did. Of course, they did defeat Luminosity